Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you from Lagos. A reminder of our major stories tonight. President Buhari offers assurance that Nigeria's economy will come out of recession in 2017. The federal government denies plans to increase 5% value-added tax on goods and services in the coming year. INEC chairman blames election violence on lack of enforcement of relevant electoral laws, says it portends danger for Nigeria's democracy. And gunman shoots and kills Russia's ambassador to Turkey at an art gallery in the capital, Ankara. Do remember, all our top stories can be found on our websites, channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com to view us live on a mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You can also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. The trend of increasing cases of electoral violence in the country may portend danger for the nation's democracy. That's coming from the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, who was speaking at a forum on elections organized by the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room in Abuja. Professor Yakubu blames the level of violence on the lack of enforcement of relevant laws relating to electoral violence.
41, 42.
Issues arising from the parliamentary run elections in River State continues to be a subject of public debate days after the polls. In Abuja, the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room organized a forum on elections to appraise the election. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission recommends an attitudinal change in order to reduce the increasing cases of electoral violence.
INEC is not without its own share of blame. There were instances of electoral officials subverting the process, usually as a result of financial inducement, resulting in obviously compromised processes leading to the nullification of elections by courts. I wish to assure you that this will be addressed with renewed vigor.
The chairman of the Senate Committee on INEC announced plans by the National Assembly to pass a bill on the Electoral Offences Commission.
There are bills presently undergoing legislative refining in two houses of the National Assembly. The bills are holistically approached to take care of most of the prevailing challenges in our electoral process.
The coordinator of Open Society Initiative for West Africa and the convener of the forum condemned the heightening tension that characterizes elections in Nigeria and Africa in general.
We need to wake up to the reality that Nigerians are tired. I am tired and frustrated, and that our continued market dance of shame around elections is destroying our collective psyche and faith in the democratic process.
We do have a civil society concerns regarding some of the challenges that has recently reared its head up, and this is coming from events that took place in one of the most recent elections, the River State election.
Moving forward, the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room is expected to review elections conducted by INEC in 2016 and the imperative of consolidating the electoral reform process ahead of the 2019 general elections.
Meanwhile, the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onnoghen, has made a case for all appeals to the Supreme and Appeal Courts to be by leave and not by right. Justice Onnoghen made the suggestion today at the official commissioning of the remodeled and upgraded Court of Appeal complex in Lagos. Staying with electoral matters, the controversy trailing the Rivers rerun legislative polls has continued, with the All Progressives Congress in the state demanding the immediate redeployment of the resident electoral commissioner, Mr. Anyedi Ikoiwak. In a statement signed by State APC Chairman Davis Ikanya, the party condemned the alleged role played by the state INEC rec in the Rivers legislative rerun polls, which it claims was in favor of the People's Democratic Party. The APC raised questions on Mr. Ikoiwak's announcement of the PDP's George Sekibo as a senator without waiting for the votes from 3 local government areas. In a swift reaction, however, Mr. Ikoiwak described the claims by the APC as false, adding that he would rather concentrate on his work, as both the APC and the PDP have accused him of rigging the election. Barely 10 days after several people lost their lives when a church collapsed in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, tragedy struck again in the state. This time, 2 people have been confirmed dead from a collapsed wall at Ederebo Market in Ikot Akpatek in Ona local government area of the state. Eyewitnesses also say more than 15 people who sustained various forms of injuries have been moved to Emmanuel General Hospital in Eket for medical attention. The 60-year-old market was renovated 3 years ago by the state government. Reacting to the incident, the state police public relations officer Cordelia Wawe confirmed that 2 women died following the collapse of an old market wall on them. Let's take it out to Abuja, where Linda Kiwe is standing by with hopefully more cheery news. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Amarachi. The police in Borno State, northeast Nigeria, have confirmed the death of 2 suspected female suicide bombers in a failed attack in Maiduguri, the state capital. The attack was reportedly thwarted at a checkpoint in Gelere village, a satellite settlement in Maiduguri, close to the Dikwa Gamburu road. According to the Borno State Police spokesperson, Victor Isuku, one of the suicide bombers detonated an improvised explosive device which killed her and her accomplice. 3 residents of the area were also injured in the incident. There have been renewed attacks by insurgents in the northeast in recent times. The latest occurred in Madagali in Adamawa State and in the Borno State capital, resulting in the death of scores of residents. Meanwhile, Kafanchan in Jema local government area of Kaduna State is on lockdown following an alleged security report of plans by some people to cause a breakdown of law and order in the area. The curfew, which was announced by the chairman of the council, follows a rally held this morning by some indigents of southern Kaduna to protest the continued killing of their kinsmen by suspected herdsmen. The state government had earlier announced the banning of all forms of unlawful assembly, but the protesters, who were mainly youths, today defied the order and took to the streets to demand the arrest of the perpetrators of the attacks. Channels Television gathered that business activities have been paralyzed in the area due to the curfew, while only the police and other security agencies were seen patrolling the streets. Scores of people have been killed following attacks on farmers in communities in 3 local government areas of the state. Now, away from security matters, the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, UNHCR, has assured Nigerians that the $1 billion being raised to feed and resettle displaced persons in the northeast will be judiciously spent. UNHCR's Chief Executive Officer, Filippo Grandi, said as much after meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari and other stakeholders in Abuja. The UN High Commissioner expressed confidence in the preparedness of Nigeria's defense and interior institutions to resettle displaced persons in their respective homelands.
The United Nations High Commissioner's first port of call was the presidential villa. During a closed-door meeting, President Muhammadu Buhari intimated the UN High Commissioner on Refugees, Filippo Grandi, on the Nigerian military's successful creation of safe passage corridors for IDP resettlers in the northeast, which has so far rehabilitated and resettled over 150,000 displaced Nigerians in their home communities from across the border. Following that meeting, the United Nations High Commissioner addressed the press.
This devastation of villages, towns, infrastructure, environment, that it is also devastation of human lives and the very texture of the community. And so it was very important for me to go there. Let me add that it was important for me to go there because I realized that there is strong commitment on the part of Nigeria to tackle this problem.
How to ensure judicious use and strategic application of funds realized have become an issue in Nigeria, especially with winds of controversy currently swirling around previous applications of IDP resettlement resources.
Ranging from procurement to financial controls to monitoring how the money is spent on the ground. Problems can always occur, but I think that the United Nations have a system which is requested and approved by the international community. These are usually government funds, so taxpayer funds, so we have a very important responsibility.
With 2.5 million Nigerians still displaced in the nation's northeastern region, the displacement of development inhibiting factors and effective placement of resources and people will surely determine the destiny of millions of Nigerians and perhaps by extension the future prospects of a region.
When the news at 10 returns, Central Bank of Nigeria to provide forex to fuel marketers and airlines in a special currency auction. That's some business news. Join us again.